Wie is Rico de Jong?
Who is Rico de Jong? That's me. A Honda enthusiast, driving Honda since I was 18. When I had my license, one day I already had a Honda Civic EG, a black one, and it all started from there. And once I had one EG, many came after that, and I never stopped caring about an EG. My love for Honda started when my brother actually had a Honda CRX VTEC. It actually had a kind of a built engine in it. And when I was 16 years old, I was a passenger once with him. I felt the VTEC and I was sold immediately. I had a small scooter back then. I never actually spent any money on the scooter. I only wanted to save my money to buy a Honda. My family also has a Honda dealership, so that probably also helped a little bit to keep Honda in the family. Gino, my brother, one of my inspiration sources of keeping the Honda brand in our family alive. Together with my brother, we actually built this car. We built the Brown Booster. We built many Civics, many Hondas, also for other people that wanted something like we built. Pretty much every car we've done so far has been together. Working with him always works like an oiled machine. In the beginning, first I tried drag racing one time. Didn't felt like it was my kind of racing. So then I went with a friend of mine to Lelystad for slalom. That was my first impression of racing, and after that I started taking the car to Zandvoort, Assen, and that's when I was sold completely. The idea of replicating the Jack Civic, it started when I was just scrolling around on the internet, looking at pictures of the Honda collection hall where all the famous old race cars of Honda are collected, and I saw the livery, and it's the only EG with a livery in the museum that's a race car, and I was just sold immediately when I saw the livery. For me it was so beautiful, colorful, and it was something completely different than anybody else was doing. So because I love chasing rare Honda stuff all around, and it was the same for this car because there was so little information known about the car itself. I just started scrolling around on the internet looking for information of the car, and it just spiraled, and I just wanted to have a replica of the car. I think I already have a passion for racing, and I have a passion for Honda, and I have a passion for the older stuff of Honda, and that pretty much relates also to the older stuff. So it also relates to the older racing series that Honda competed in, and this was actually the only car that Honda, they thought that it was the most important thing to put in the museum instead of any other livery of an EG, so that's why I wanted to replicate this car. The fact that searching for information of this car was so hard, that actually made it for me even more important to find all the information that I needed to replicate the car in such a small detail that we actually did. I wanted to build an old school race car that was, it's even better than we actually were supposed to build it, but we actually wanted to build a race car that will be used for time attack track days that actually has an old school livery, so when people see it on the track and people know the old school Honda racing series, then they can actually relate to it. Some people told me I was not going to build this car because they thought there's so little information about the car. You will not find enough information to replicate the car in such detail that you actually did, and that's one of the moments I thought, watch me. I just kept on going. I actually didn't really look at the money I was spending because it was a lot. But I was more looking to the project as a whole, and I wanted to build something that is completely unique and nobody ever has seen before. And I like new stuff, but I like to replicate something that is old, but it's all brand new. So every bolt, every control arm, everything is new on the car. I just hate looking at rusty stuff. The biggest challenge was actually the smallest sticker on the car to replicate. It's a small sticker that's on the side mirror, and there was completely no image of it whatsoever. And I had a small scale model. It was this big, and it had that sticker, and it was this small. And I think that was the biggest challenge, to find information of that sticker so we can replicate it, to put it on the car so the car itself is just a complete replica of the real deal. I think important success moments of the car itself was before it was wrapped, when we actually, when the car went actually champion. It won the championship of time attack in the Netherlands. That was one of the important parts, and that actually motivated me more to build a more beautiful car for racing, and hopefully it's going to be faster than before. The thing that I'm really proud of this car is that pretty much every small detail of the car is replicated in small details. So even for the wheels are old 90s NK RS Evo wheels, and it's the same model that Honda actually used in the 90s as a center lock wheel. It's the same for the Mugen MR5s that they used, but there's no Mugen MR5 that I can put under this car. So I went for the next best thing, and that was this wheel that it has now. There are some pictures online of it, but that's the wheel that we actually chose for the car, because it was the wheel that they also used in the 90s for the real Jacks Racing Civic. So in that point, the whole car pretty much, every small detail of the car has been replicated, and that's something that I'm really proud of. Yeah, if you're doing something like this, do it in stages. Don't rip apart a car completely and then think it will magically be apart again in a few days or weeks. That's not how it works. Do it in stages. Just take your suspension off, do the suspension parts, mount the suspension parts back, and then do the next part. So don't do everything at once. You're gonna hate it. Just keep doing what you love to do on the car, and don't listen so much to what everybody else thinks, because a lot of people told me that this project its delivery is too busy, it's too flashy, but it was something I loved and something I wanted to build, And of course there are some things on the car that's not replicated in detail, like the suspension. It's been powder coated. Yeah, the real Jacks Civic doesn't have powder coated suspension, so but those are things that I wanted to do a little bit differently, and just keep doing that. Do what you love, don't listen to so much to other people. The moment I actually realized that the car was actually so special, when it actually won a cup at Honda Euromeet, that it actually, to my surprise, it actually won a cup at the MIMS Honda Day at the Nürburgring. Those were things that surprised me, because I can imagine that a lot of people think that the livery is way too colorful, too busy. A lot of people like clean cars with one color and not so much flashy. So Jason was very stoked. We actually met him before the Honda Euromeet at the hotel, and he walked outside and his first reaction was, "No way!" Because he knew that there was going to be an FL5, the new Civic Type R, that was going to be revealed with the Jacks livery on it. So he was completely stoked, and he loved the car. I didn't know that there was actually going to be a revealing of the new Civic Type R with the Jacks livery until Honda Pro Jason actually told us the day before the meet, when he actually saw the car parked at the hotel. I think I've accomplished my goal with building the car. Now it just has to perform on the track, and let's hope it will do just as good as it does at Show and Shines for now. Yeah, the car meet season is a little bit on its end. Just as long as the car is still a little bit beautiful, I will try to keep competing in Show and Shines, and next year we will try to compete in Time Attack again. It is a race car, but it actually, for now, it still looks so good for a race car. I don't know how it will look next year when it's on the track. Maybe it will be beaten up in the first lap, I don't know, but that's part of the job. I'm hoping to win some first places again in Time Attack, but then one class higher, or maybe two classes higher than the car did before this.